All right, everyone, welcome back to the 546 Project. And we got some of us here. We're not all here. Well, Carrie's here, but she's indisposed until the food box. Thanks for the support. And we got Nathan and Jason here. How you guys doing?
I was doing okay until you started talking about those toenails and stuff.
Yeah, we had a very interesting pre-show conversation, and I gotta go.
This is how we prep.
Yes, our don't judge our prep. If we didn't prep like this, we couldn't bring you the quality programming that we do every time. This is not so family-friendly stuff here, folks. We do the best we can. But
that's not part of a toenail, is it?
I think that's like the back of an earring.
Oh, okay. Well,
did we find one?
Yes.
Yeah. I guess Carrie lost.
Interesting. I'll take that just for the sake of being.
All right.
You never know what you're going to hear, folks. But Kevin is not with us, unfortunately, but he will be back. He is on location.
He's with his real friends, I guess.
Yeah, he's with his other friends. And see, what a lot of you don't.
Who you are.
What a lot of you don't realize is that when we all got together, we made a vow to not get other friends. I mean, you have us. What more do you need? But
was that a blood oath?
Maybe that's why we didn't. Maybe that's why other people were finding other interests. But
I have no other friends.
We didn't get it in blood. We didn't. Maybe we should have. But in all seriousness, Kevin is, from what I gather, having an absolute blast at
Genre Blast.
Wow, good play on
He's
words.
really having a blast.
He is having a blast at Genre Blast. And we're not really going to get into it because that's his baby, and I know he'll, at least if not do a separate podcast, he'll want to talk about it the next time we're all together. But all I'll say is that they had the local screening for I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday, which, Jason, you were...
Yeah, no, it was very well received. I really enjoyed it as much as you can enjoy the movie's supposed to be depressing. So it hit all the marks. It pulled at all the feel strings the way it was supposed to. Mike Lombardo, the writer and director, has a film that he should be very proud of.
Awesome. And I look forward to hearing Kevin's take on the whole weekend. And I'm sure he reviewed it. I'm not sure how many times he's seen it now, but I know he is. I've never seen Kevin really get behind something like he has with this, and he is absolutely loving it. So definitely looking forward to hearing all about it. I know he'll, like I said, either do his own podcast, which I'd actually like to hear, but he may talk about it with us. So we're going to steer away, but glad you enjoyed yourself. I guess it's one of the few times you could walk out of a theater with mixed emotions and that be okay.
Right.
So hats off to you, Mike. Glad that everything seems to be well received and that the movie's doing so well.
Yeah. Congratulations, random guy.
I really thought he was going to be like, congratulations, other friend. I really thought he was going to go there, but wow, we're going to. But
Nathan's on the same page I am, where I'm like, there can only be so many people, and I can't have a friend with, two friends with the same name, or somebody gets relegated to their last name.
My heart stays open, and I try to.
If you're listening,
I try to welcome everyone equally. I am accepting of all people, but this is just going to take a lot of wrong turns really quick. But we're going to try to muddle through. We got a few things we want to talk about. The last time we were together, we were checking out SummerSlam. So if we want to touch on a couple of highlights from there,
that won't take long.
No.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I thought it was a solid pay-per-view.
To tell you the truth, I think it was the best one of the year.
I was upset with a few things.
The only things that I didn't like, well, there was something that I thought was confusing during the show. Like, after the Jeff Hardy Shinsuke Nakamura match, Randy Orton came out. And they played his music, and he came out like he was going to go after Hardy, and then he just turned around and went right back up the ramp.
Like halfway down the ramp, turned around.
Why even put him on there? It didn't make any sense. Was he going to get an appearance fee or something?
Why do I feel like Randy Orton's the kind of guy that has to make so many appearances, or he gets paid for showing up? Yeah, and I'll be honest. I remember it was I'm not a big fan of WWE making all these pay-per-views 4 hours. I'll admit that, and I slept through that match. I will admit it. I do not remember that match at all. But
well, the first match was great. The one with Rollins and Ziggler.
You said the key word there, and that's Seth Rollins, and Dolph Ziggler. Seth Rollins is amazing. Seth Rollins should have the title right now. I don't know why he doesn't. or at least should
He
be
has
in
the Intercontinental
Well, he
title.
does, but he should be the world champion. It's good to see them actually putting some focus on the Intercontinental title, though. But my biggest problem with the whole thing were the squash matches. I don't think Kevin Owens should have got squashed like that. Unless I don't know what kind of angle they're taking with Kevin Owens. For those of you that saw Raw this past week, he quit. I don't know what
Took
they're
his
doing.
ball and he went home.
Yeah, I think Austin did that once, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's right, he did.
Was that back in, 2002, I believe?
Yeah, that was
I think
02.
There were some
He just didn't show up.
underlying circumstances with that outside the ring, I believe. But,
Right.
I'm kind of fan. I mean, obviously, Kevin Owens didn't quit the company, obviously, but I'll be curious to see where this goes, where this plays out. Are they on tape delay tomorrow for Raw?
I don't know.
'Cause
But
I
I
know
was
they're-
going to actually bring up, you remember when Ziggler quit?
Yes.
And then he came back at the Royal Rumble and he really didn't do anything?
Right.
I hope it's not like that.
Yeah, I kind of hope there's a better end game for a guy like Kevin Owens. I mean, Owens is a big star. Owens is huge. So I'm kind of hoping they're going somewhere with it and he doesn't just get kind of tossed in the fold.
Well, I thought that the Reigns-Lesnar match was one of their better ones. They don't really have that much to go off of, but it was a decent enough match and thankfully Reigns won the title, of course.
It was a better build-up for a lot of the Lesnar matches. I was kind of looking forward. The only reason I was looking forward to it, I kind of felt that Brock was going to drop the title. I just was curious as to how. And once I saw how it was playing out, and then they had Braun Strowman come out, and you saw Lesnar turn all of his attention there, I knew Reigns was going to kind of, not necessarily do a sneak attack type thing, but Reigns was going to kind of catch him off guard and get away with the title.
I think a lot of people just didn't really like Strowman to be out there at all. And just, like, the premise of him, I'm going to cash in, but I'm going to wait until one of you beat the other up, and you already are in a match and you're already exhausted. Then I'm going to come in, and then I'm going to try and take the title from you.
Well,
I don't see really a difference in that and, like, someone, like, surprising someone, like, right after their match. It's the same premise.
But then he didn't even do that. There wasn't
right. Because Lesnar threw the briefcase up the ramp. Like,
well, that's it. I mean, it's better when it's a surprise instead of having him just come out, basically say, I'm going to do it. Here I am. I like it much better when it's more of a mystery. And plus, that was kind of my prediction for the pay-per-view. Of course, I thought it was going to be Owens, and Owens got the hell beat out of him rather quickly.
Yeah.
But and of course, now we've seen on Raw they've apparently turned Braun Strowman heel.
He's with Ziggler and McIntyre, or at least he was. For that particular show. But.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to make it look that way, but really he's just kind of in business for himself, which he always has been.
Well, if they're going to do like the 3-on-3, the Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman versus the Shield thing, that wouldn't logically make sense. But I don't know.
Unless it's something to do until Hell in a Cell, which we have
right.
that coming up. How long? When is that? Is that September 16th? I don't know why that's sticking out in my head.
That would make sense. That would be the 16th.
Sounds about right. But
we're bad wrestling fans. We don't even know the date of the pay-per-view.
We're on
or maybe if they put out a better product, we'd know.
Look at the conversations we have before the show. That's how we prep. We don't worry with things like statistics, facts, and all that kind of stuff.
We're more worried about toenails and other
food boxes,
crap.
and which we got a great one coming up. But at the main event for Hell in a Cell, we've got Reigns versus Strowman. Strowman's already made it apparent that he's cashing in his briefcase at the pay-per-view, which already means he's not going to win.
And it makes no sense.
Well, that too. But when does it have to at this point?
Yes, it still has to make sense.
Somehow the Shield's going to get involved in that match, whether it's in a Hell in a Cell or not. It's not going to matter. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think Strowman's going to win. They took this long to put the belt on Roman Reigns. Don't think he's going to lose it anytime soon, unfortunately.
Going back to SummerSlam,
sure.
The Daniel Bryan Miz match was really good too.
Yeah,
it was one of those old type of wrestling matches which some people just don't like now, but with both of those guys, it really worked.
That's what we grew up on. That's what I like seeing. I just feel like that was a WrestleMania caliber match.
Most didn't like how it ended. to where he gets the foreign object from Maurice and knocks Bryan out.
This program's not over by a long shot.
Well, now we've incorporated Brie Bella into the
Of course.
Right.
And I mean,
they're having a mixed tag match with Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to go in. If this would be a one shot, if it would have been just kind of a one and done deal, that ending would have been horrible, but it works for what they're doing. Bryan wasn't going to win their first match. I really think it's going to culminate into another one-on-one match with those two. The question is when. Can they stretch it to WrestleMania, though?
It's a while away.
I really feel like they shouldn't have taken this one away.
I mean,
this should have been a WrestleMania. It should have maybe started it at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Right.
If you really wanted to stretch it, start it at Survivor Series.
But
and
I
then
mean,
stretch it to Mania,
their feud has built for many years.
8 years.
So you could stretch it for even longer than that, and it'd be okay.
You can always kind of bring it back around,
right?
I mean, they can always have that, as long as they're on the same show. I mean, you can keep it going as long as you want.
And then Rousey won the women's championship.
See, there again, I think it's too soon for that. She's barely done anything.
Another match that some people didn't really. A lot of people didn't think it was one of Rousey's better matches. She just kind of ran Bliss over.
Doesn't have a lot of matches to compare it to. That's my problem.
No,
that's
I don't
problem
think.
Too.
I don't.
Our cat correspondent.
That's right.
I don't think that they wanted Bliss to have the championship for the women's pay-per-view.
Going into the, what do they call it, the Women's Evolution pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I really am. One, I want to see who all they get to come back for it. We've already confirmed Trish Stratus is coming back to take on Alexa Bliss, which it was awesome to see Trish back on Raw on Monday.
She did not want to walk with Elias.
She did not want to walk with my boy Elias, but how great is Elias, honestly? Come on, be honest. How great is Elias?
I think you may be alone as far as I think his act, you kind of know what it is now.
True.
There's not really any. He's not gonna he needs to evolve at least in some other way.
I would like to see him.
Doesn't have a lot of wiggle room.
Right.
No, but I'll be honest. I would like to see him in the ring more. If you notice, a lot of the skits, like you said, it's very predictable.
But at the same time, some of his feuds haven't been the best.
Well, no, because he's not really wrestling it out.
The one he's been doing with Lashley been kind of odd. Yeah.
Again, he's not really wrestling.
But even then, I mean, to go into Lashley's feuds since he's come back, they've been really awful.
Well, they have.
The one with Sami Zayn was absolute garbage.
That was a train wreck.
And it's sad because, I mean, they're both talented guys.
Oh my God, Sami Zayn's amazing in the ring. I don't like to hear him talk, but
that skit with Lashley's sisters, that was awful. That was one of the worst ones probably Raw ever had.
Yeah, that was, and you can tell.
And sometimes when something doesn't work,
it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch something when you know it's not working, but I mean it's live TV. You can't stop it, so you've got to let it play out. That was rough. But no, Trish Stratus did not wish to walk with Elias, but it was good to have her back on TV from the reaction of the crowd. She's very well received. Apparently, still looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And what else can you say about Trish Stratus? She's great. So her and Alexa Bliss should definitely tear the house down. But I'm looking forward to seeing what else is going to be on that show. Who are
Rumors
they
about Lita? Did you hear this?
I did not.
Really?
Yeah, I think there was a rumor floating that got squashed, of course, that it was going to be Lita and Asuka in a match.
So I didn't know how much Lita could do.
I was just going to say, could Lita keep up with that caliber? I don't doubt she'll make some type of appearance. She's going to be there, obviously, but I did not hear that she was going to wrestle.
Yeah, I don't know if there was any truth to the rumor, but
it's a shame. It's a shame because Lita
it
was
makes
always
sense
great.
for Lita at least to be on commentary.
To do something. I really feel like she'll be there in some aspect.
But that's going to be the interesting thing, seeing who they get. Like, heard another name thrown out was AJ Lee.
And see, from what I'm hearing, they're saying it's
that
unlikely.
one's kind of now in the no.
Debunked.
Yeah.
Which it's a shame because that.
And now part of that, I guess,
the
because
connection
of the
with CM
Punk,
Punk.
yeah. But AJ Lee's her own woman.
Which I'll get to this in a minute.
Do what she wants, but
I'll get to this show in a minute. But he was asked, I believe, to appear at the All In pay-per-view that took place yesterday.
Right, he did
you
a
hear about that?
signing.
He did a signing, but I think they wanted him there. I
Right.
don't know to participate, but he turned that down. That I did not watch, but looked like a great show from what I've read. But I'll kind of go to that in a minute after we go back. But no, for the women's pay-per-view, you're kind of wondering who you'll see. Caitlyn is back. She's actually in the Mae Young Classic. I don't know if she's still in. She made it past the first round, and
the finals are supposed to be.
The finals are going to be that night. So, I mean, how did they say? I think they said, I can't remember, but how many people are supposed to be a part of this pay per view?
Well, is it going to be a 4-hour show, or is it going to be like a 3-hour show? Do you know that?
It would be kind of wrong for them to give everybody else where they're all about on equality and stuff now. And part of the reason this is happening apparently is to make up for the treatment of the big, what do they call it, the greatest Royal Rumble ever.
The Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, where women aren't allowed to perform.
They're supposed to be going back there too. Apparently.
Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't hear that. I'm not surprised.
Well, they signed a deal for multiple appearances in Saudi Arabia,
which I'm not surprised. And I mean,
years.
it'll do, but the women cannot perform over
there. Well, they're going to fall short of their wish to get Yokozuna to be on their show.
Right.
Well, I think they wanted the Ultimate Warrior as well, didn't they? So that's.
Oh, I mean, that's why we got the knockoffs in the Rumble.
You can see how far it does kind of surprise you when you think about how far, I guess, out of the overseas market. With what they get. And how much
just because they're still trading tapes.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to the women's show. I'm wondering, will they reach out to people like Stacy Keibler? I know she's kind of doing the motherhood thing right now.
I would doubt that.
Would they reach? Because I don't think they parted on bad terms.
The thing is, she has separated herself completely from wrestling.
Pretty much,
so
that's true.
I would put those odds at like 0.5%.
True. But just wondering.
Tori Wilson would probably be doing it.
Well, yeah, she showed up at the Raw anniversary show, did she not?
Well, she was in the Women's Rumble.
Right, she was in the Women's Rumble, so she would come.
Kelly was in the Women's Rumble.
I'm wondering if maybe they would try to get like Candice Michelle. Maybe she could. I don't know what she's doing now. It's another name. I'm just trying to think of divas' names.
Well, if you bring too many from the past, you
outshine the new. That's true.
And they have enough there that I think they could do well on their own, really. I mean, they have they have enough for 2 shows.
True. And I'll say
so if they combine them into one, if you get the NXT roster in there.
That's also true. You're going to have that. So, I mean, they'll definitely be able to put. I think they could put on a 4-hour show. I don't think length is the problem, but it's going to be who they get to go up against. But I like the idea of having some of the old school versus the new school with like what they're doing with Trish and Alexa Bliss. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
They'll probably, I'm speculating, Charlotte and Becky Lynch probably will be.
That'd be
there.
a great place for that to culminate. Yeah, that's so good.
I wouldn't even know who Rousey would be against.
Will she defend the title? Which she should. Something like that.
I would think it's probably a guarantee that she defends the title.
Or see, why not? They could have even stretched it to have her win it there. I just think it was too early for her to win the title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make that argument, but we said it before, like a couple weeks ago. We just need to view it like without any preconceived notions.
Take it for what it is.
Because we could complain forever, but they're going to do what they're going to do.
That's it. And we just I mean, they've already got our money with the WWE Network, so we just sit and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, and just enjoy the
some
ride.
people can be bitter and complain like weekly about the shows, and others choose to take the shows as they are.
Yeah, just take it for what it is and go. But I'll tell you, a show that I would have liked to have seen apparently took place last night. Ring of Honor did an all-in pay-per-view. From what I understand, Cody Rhodes and
It was
the Young Bucks, I believe it was,
Yeah.
totally funded this show. They put it together. They put their money into it. Took place in Chicago, which I guess is why they tried to get Punk. I mean,
Right.
it would have just made sense. But sounded like a really good show. Cody Rhodes won the TNA title.
No, it was the NWA.
Or the
title.
NWA, yeah, TNA. Yeah,
They're not
there's a
together
blunder.
anymore.
I still say, the reason I said that I was thinking of Billy Corgan and this whole thing because he was involved with them.
Right.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes won the NWA title.
He defeated Nick Aldis, formerly Magnus.
Yes, so there's a lot of TNA connection there, but not quite the connection that I should have known better. I'm trying
A
to
couple
remember
of
names.
other appearances
Yeah,
took
Chris
place.
Jericho showed up.
A surprise there.
But going after Kenny Omega, which was, I'm not surprised
It
that
was
it
a
happened, but
yeah.
that he showed up. He is now, I heard a thing the other day that he is now accepting U.S. bookings, which a few months ago is something he said he wouldn't do. As, I guess, in good faith to Vince McMahon. He actually went to McMahon and asked permission to do the thing overseas when he wrestled Omega the last time, and said that he wouldn't do any U.S. bookings, but now he is. So very interesting. Let's see what that's about.
Does this mean, would this tell you that they kind of fell out in a way?
I haven't heard anything, but I would be surprised because they've always...
Because he's been thinking, there was the rumor talking about him making appearances on Impact.
I would never see Jericho on Impact.
Well, the only reason they brought that up is because I guess he's good friends with Don Callis, who runs Impact now.
Could be. I don't see it. Like I said, again, he apparently has some type of loyalty still to Vince McMahon. And I think if he did that, then we could say that there may have been a falling out.
Yeah.
Some type of speculation on that. But no, apparently the All-In pay-per-view, it sounded like it was pretty good. It would have been awesome. I would like to see Punk show up in some type of form or another again.
Right.
I've kind of had my heat with Punk, but
I mean, if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to get back in a wrestling ring and something like Ring of Honor, hey, good for him. If he wants to focus on doing other stuff, hey, kudos to him.
Even again, not even in a wrestling capacity. I mean, I know he did the autographs, but even to just show up. The fans. I mean, the fans would have blew the roof off the place if they could have procured his services to just show up, maybe be in somebody's corner, do something like that. Don't let WWE totally sour you on the business altogether.
I think he's just, that's not really what his interest is.
Makes sense. I mean, I get it. Or at least give us that UFC fight with Jason David Frank. At least give us that.
Yeah. I think that's better off if that doesn't happen. Right, he should just go train how he wants to train, and write comic books there.
Hey, it works. Do him.
As long as he's making money and enjoying what he does, can't really complain
when he's
about
married
that.
to AJ Lee, how bad can life be?
Colt Cabana's suing him.
I did see that. Yes, he is.
But
Which I thought they were friends.
No, not anymore.
I think they've gone their separate ways.
But speaking of friendships, apparently a friendship older than time has mended itself. I think we touched on this a while back when Brutus Beefcake apparently just went rogue and had a lot of horrible things to say about the Hulkster.
And he wouldn't have anything bad to say about Hulk Hogan.
Can't imagine. The man's a national treasure. I just can't imagine. But apparently there was a picture that surfaced on Twitter of the two of them from Brutus Beefcake's account. So
in a very passionate embrace.
Oh,
no, I
okay.
never saw the picture.
I didn't see the picture. Passionate embrace. Beefcake's got a knife in his hand. I don't know.
No, it's the scissors that he used, like the prop.
Ah, yes. Hey, even better. I don't know how much hair Hogan has left these days.
Could you imagine someone cutting your hair with those shears?
No, because I don't have much hair, so I just see the top of my scalp going off. But hey,
they're hedge clippers.
Good for him if they can mend fences. I never got to read his book, and I really would have liked to know what he had to say. But hey, good for them if they can they can work it out.
Friend to the end. That's what
right.
we always heard.
They were mega
Brother
maniacs.
Brudeye.
That's right. They were mega maniacs, brother. They were, But hey, it's the people. It's the yes movement, people power, and all that, all tied into one. Just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
But what else we got going on now? Football season getting ready to kick off, if you'll pardon the pun. This Thursday.
Yeah.
Champion Eagles going up against
the Atlanta Falcons. What do you think about the start of the season? I mean,
we're riveted. Anybody?
It's one of those. Once it kicks off, I'll be more into it. But I mean, it's like, all right, cool.
I'm ready for it. Curious to see how the Dolphins are going to make out this year.
I'll give you a hint. 6-10.
You think?
Okay, so we got you saying Dolphins 6-10. Earlier we were talking about how many games we thought the Browns were going to win.
I said 6 as well.
I'm giving the Browns I'm going to give them at least 5.
And I said 4. So we'll
4, 5, and 6.
Carrie said 2
That's right.
She's an expert on all NFL.
She has got her finger on the pulse. She's on NFL.com daily.
I think she's out there right now.
She probably is.
Really
That's what she's doing.
She said she was doing something, but now
she said she was calling her mom, but I'm not hearing a lot of talking back there. Not hearing much yap, which, anyway.
She's doing research on
the
Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield, I think.
Right. She was upset that Manziel left. It just devastated, hurt her deeply is what happened.
Yeah, he's in Canada.
That's
Did
right.
You see that?
In the CFL.
And his first game was it was great. It was so amazing. He threw all these interceptions, and
I'm sure the other team really appreciated him being there.
He was very generous to them.
Glad to have him. That's But and the Steelers, where are we looking at for Pittsburgh?
Oh man, I think they'll win that division.
Yeah,
it'll be a typical Steeler season to where they win the division, and they may win a playoff game. They may not.
They're gonna win. I think they'll make it.
If they make the wild card, they'll win. If they go to the divisional playoffs, they'll probably.
It's gonna be them. It's gonna be them and Baltimore fighting for it again. It's just become that sort of thing every year.
You don't think Cincinnati will make?
I think Cincinnati will be a contender.
Minus the Browns. That's always such a great division to watch.
Who are Bears, right?
There have been some talk about that, but
no, aren't the Browns? What are they? Oh no, they're
Browns
dogs.
are the dogs.
Dogs. Okay, no one cares.
That's right. Good for you for trying to make them relevant, though. I salute you.
There was a logo when they were early when it was an elf. They had an elf logo. They called it Brownie the Elf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing, and I mean nothing, strikes fear into the hearts of opponents knowing that you are going one-on-one staring across the field at the Brown Elves. I'm scared just talking about it.
Well, there's scary Dolphins.
Hey, we jump through hoops. That's a fire hoop they're jumping through.
It's not Snowflake.
That's
right.
Not
It's not Snowflake.
That's right. That's not Snowflake. But stick with the AFC North. The Ravens. Will Flacco, of course, get the start this year, I imagine? Even though
yes.
RG3.
How much, what RG3 really?
Did he get injured again?
No, he made the roster, but he's not. Most games he's not going to even dress.
Well, that was my question. How much playing time do you think RG3 will get?
RG3 will get as much playing time as we will.
Wow, there it is. You heard it first. So I'm guessing he's not their backup then.
He's their third because they have Lamar Jackson.
Oh, he's RG3. That's why he's RG3. It's in his name. You like that?
It's in his
name.
I
think it was just enough an accomplishment for him to make the team because he had been out of the game.
I was kind of surprised, honestly. I kind of thought if they were going to go for him, they would. I
think it was kind of the trend of where he would just see what he was showcase for other teams, and then they may get a trade offer or something, and that just never came to fruition because there were other quarterbacks that were traded before the start of the season. Teddy Bridgewater got traded to the Saints. He was with the Jets, and he did pretty decent in the preseason, enough for them to trade him for a pick. And then A.J. McCarron, who was with the Bills got traded to the Raiders to be their backup. So there were a decent amount of moves as far as quarterbacks were concerned. The Paxton Lynch got released for the Broncos. He was their number one pick a couple years ago. So,
and did you see the contract that they just handed Aaron Rodgers?
Definite record contract. He definitely deserves it. So,
all that money. That's all I can think of is all that money. Anything else?
Do you want to talk about your invention?
I don't understand why I'm taking so much heat for this. This is going to get labeled the Man Pawn episode. Hashtag it, friends, the Man Pawn. All right.
Feel free to fast forward about 5 minutes, by the way.
I don't want to talk about it, but
No,
I figured if I did, Nathan would. If I didn't, Nathan would.
Explain the man pawn for us.
The man pawn, we all know what a tampon is and what it does, and obviously we're not built the same way. Look, he's just laughing his ass off over here. And it's just, I don't care. I'll own it. I've done this. It's worked, and it's helped. The man pawn is basically wadding toilet paper, sticking it where the sun don't shine. If you feel you might have a little problem getting from point A to point B without potential sharding, whatever you want to call it, that's the man pawn. There you go. Not a lot to talk about. Pretty self-explanatory.
I think it's a useful invention.
It's very useful. It's helped me a time or two. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's so convenient just to have that small instead of wearing like diapers or something.
That's right.
Like
and you just kind of gotten quiet, sat back there. Are you trying to say that you're too good for the man pawn?
I'm saying I'm not talking. This is not why.
you don't.
This is not why I come on the show.
You wouldn't. It wouldn't be useful for you if if you're running and something.
Think about it. The new Batman game just came out. You're logging some serious hours on this thing. You've got to go, and you don't want to pause the game.
I'm pausing.
Well, at that point, I would think it would be attributed to laziness than anything.
Than
more of an emergency
situation.
situation.
I'm pausing.
Hey, we all do little things that work for us. It's a life hack. If you want to call it that, call it what you will. Put it to bed right here.
And if you want to put me on the spot,
I do.
I was just trying to sit there and just mind my own damn business. Actually, if I was running and something was going on, I would just let it go. Because if you keep it up in there, it's not going to help your running at all.
Apparently, that's a very popular thing to do. Like run and then take a big dump somewhere where you're not supposed to.
Yeah, no.
Out of nowhere.
I've seen people. I mean, you're not supposed to, do it. You're supposed to stop at like the designated, porta potties and stuff. But I've seen people, run along the side and take a pee or do whatever they have to
now
do.
let me preface here. This is not going to ward off the big one. I mean, okay, this is not going to help with Hiroshima here. Okay, I mean, just the bomb. This is not going to prevent that. This is one of those instances where, I mean, you might not be feeling the best. You've got to go. You get that little call for a little sneeze and just a little bit, let's go. I mean, this is going to help that. This is going to prevent that. This is going to get you to where you're going without needing to change your clothes. You laugh, all right? But until you've been there, you know what? Screw you guys. Screw all you guys. It's the Man Pond coming to a Shark Tank episode near you. Just to see the look on Mr. Wonderful's face.
That was a Shark Tank. Shark
it's
Tank.
the Shark Tank, absolutely. Now I'm going to just take the reins and move on to bigger and better and more fun things.
No, I don't want to delve into this, but I do want to expand on what the Jason thing with running, because there was a story that happened here a couple months ago where this guy who was the superintendent of schools in New Jersey.
Oh, even better.
He would run on the track at the school, and every once in a while, the kids would be out for practice, and they'd see this big dump on the track, and they found out that he was the one doing it.
Oh, and this man's in a position of power.
He's gone.
Oh, absolutely. They flushed him. Jeez.
And now, apparently, he's trying to sue the police department because they released his mugshot on grounds that it made it like it embarrassed him.
Well,
even
look
though
what
you
he
know,
released.
Yeah,
think about it. He deserved it.
He says he didn't do it, but
well, I'm not going to be the one to test it.
If we're going to go to the innocent until proven guilty part, I don't like. What other thing could you think would do that? Like a bear? There's just a bear running around.
Bear on the track. I mean,
you could.
There was some bear on the track, but
you could distinguish bear feces from human feces.
Yes, bear scat and human scat is wow. This is really just taking a turn. Jason's saying nothing. Wow.
You guys talk. I mean, you hear stories about like professional runners. You know, they do what they got to do while they're out there because it's like, hey, you know, I have not become that dedicated of a runner, but you know, if it came down between, you know, doing that and getting my sub 4, it's a coin toss.
I mean, I guess really we don't know what we do until we're in that position. You know, how bad do you have to go? How, you know.
And I think there was one female runner that, you know, I think she might have won the race. There's a big one too. I think it was like Boston or New York or something. She was one of the top finishers, and she had it coming out of everything because different things popped up during the race for her, and she just fought through all of that and like fucking finished.
She just went frozen and let it go. Is what you're saying?
Did you know that movie was in development since like the 30s?
What's that?
Frozen? Really?
Yeah, like they had like this ice princess like story that they wanted to do since like the 30s.
I did not, but what a segue.
It does because we wanted to talk about trivia shows, and I do Jeopardy on the Alexa app, and that was one of the questions.
Oh wow!
I did not know that. That's very interesting.
Jason bringing the random facts.
That's right. That's very good. But you know, we were talking about game shows. That's a nice segue, like I said. And just wanted to talk about some of our favorite game shows or game show hosts.
I miss having like how they used to have like game shows all the time. Right now you I know ABC's doing their block of summer programming where they have a Family Feud and To Tell the Truth and Pyramid.
And some of those have been renewed. So I mean, it is cool to see that they're trying to revive a little bit, but I miss the stuff during the day. I know what you're talking about, man. That was a lot of fun. Now
you have all these like it's more geared to like talk shows and stuff like that, which I don't want to hear that crap. I really don't.
Some talk shows are okay. I do like Ellen DeGeneres. I've always had a thing for Ellen. I think she's cool. But Dr. Phil, no, you get out of here with that. The Doctors was kind of a neat show. I don't know if they're still on or not. I think that I'm not sure. I'm not home during the day now. But I miss the days of like the daytime talk shows, classic concentration.
I want to see people win money, and I want to play along at home.
Exactly.
That's what the fun part is.
Money and like The Price is Right. The Price is Right is timeless.
Yeah. And they actually finally changed the most of the set because it was like the same set since the 60s or something. It seemed like there for a while.
Well, and that show has come a long way. A lot of people did not care for Drew Carey taking over for Bob Barker. But first of all, Bob Barker can't do it forever. I mean, he's what now, 90-something years old. He's like 90 plus. I like Drew Carey doing it, and I like the changes they've made. We've seen a lot of changes come since, when did it start? 2007, I believe Drew Carey took over. Plus, I like Drew Carey. I think Drew Carey's a funny guy. I do. I'm a Drew Carey fan.
What? Is he there for your...
Yes, he is there for my entertainment. Yes. Good fellows. Very nice.
Now, I do not like Let's Make a Deal. I'm sorry. I just think that show is completely dated in every aspect.
I was hit or miss on the original Let's Make a Deal with Monty Hall. I remember watching it as a kid. It was all right. But and it's nothing against Wayne Brady, but I can take or leave it. Yeah, Not a big fan. Like I said, bring back like classic concentration that Alex Trebek used to host in the late 80s.
The best part of that game was the end when they would try to match up for the cars.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah, but I enjoyed that one. And like the old Joker's Wild, which I know they've revived with Snoop Dogg. It's not the same.
It is not the same at all. I can't I don't even want to count that.
Yeah,
myself.
I can't get into that.
That doesn't count.
Does anybody remember Tic-Tac-Toe?
With Wink Martindale.
Is it Wink Martindale? Yes, that was a good one. Scrabble with Chuck Woolery. Chuck
Lorre's the guy from Two and a Half Men.
That created some of our favorite CBS shows. Big Bang Theory going into its last season, by the way. Just a side note. It's about time. Love the show, but it's time to put it to bed. But,
I don't love the show, and it is about time.
Chuck Woolery is where I was going for. I always wondered, though, why we were supposed to be concerned with who provided Chuck Woolery's wardrobe. Like on Love Connection, you always got that little segue before the one commercial. Chuck Woolery's wardrobe provided by... Who cares? It never bothered me.
Sponsor.
Yeah, they sponsored the wardrobe.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I never just saw him come out and think, damn, where can I get a jacket like that? But I like Chuck Woolery.
Well, maybe if you were a little older, you would have been like...
No, I still don't know and don't care where I can get a jacket like that. But no, I liked Love Connection. To me, that was a game show, you might as well say. I liked Love Connection. Love Connection was cool.
So were there ever really any winners?
Yeah.
The winners were the sponsors, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big Love Connection fan or any of those dating type shows. Like the Dating Game and all that stuff.
Newlywed Game and all that kind of stuff. But like,
Newlywed Game, I'm okay with.
That's a little different.
I actually didn't mind the revamp of the Newlywed Game that came out in, I want to say, 08.
You mean the one with Sherry Shepherd?
Well, before that, it was Carney Wilson.
Oh, that's right.
In the beginning. And actually, I didn't mind Sherry Shepherd doing it either. It was okay. I actually enjoyed that. But going to some of the old ones, like I said, Tic-Tac-Toe, Scrabble. Chuck Woolery did Scrabble. I'm trying to remember, of course, Hollywood Squares, which has been around for years. I was a big fan of that one. I missed that. That's one thing I actually liked Tom Bergeron doing, and I don't like him.
I think there was... Because they brought that back in like the early 2000s or something, right?
Which one?
Hollywood Squares.
It was mid 2000s, I want to say.
I think
or something like that.
Like Whoopi Goldberg was the
head it was like the late 90s, and it kind of ran. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was your center square. They had Alf on there at one time.
Oh, well, there you go. If you
got
Alf,
you can get anything. That's right. Mama, Vicki Lawrence did a stint on there as Mama, so I know you were a big fan.
Oh yeah, because I am a huge Mama's Family fan.
He's got every episode on tape. But
see, I go more for the trivia shows.
Of course.
Like, I love Jeopardy. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I liked it. It's one of their, again, never
the thing is with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now, they've changed it a lot.
Yeah, they have. They've kind of got away from what it was. Was never a big Regis Philbin fan, but I liked him on there. I liked him doing Millionaire.
Yeah.
Didn't get into The Weakest Link. Were you a fan of that?
That was okay. Yeah, no, not really.
I didn't like the premise, really.
Yeah, that one didn't jump out at me as much. But I'm trying to think of some of the going back with some of the older ones.
I know you guys don't like Deal or No Deal at all.
I did not. I could not stand Deal or No Deal.
Take the fucking deal and move on.
I'm not the biggest Howie Mandel fan outside of Bobby's World.
You just want to throw like dirt at him.
I did like 1 versus 100 though with Bob Saget. I enjoyed that.
I saw a little bit of that show. I didn't really see a lot of it.
It kind of puts you in the mind of Deal or No Deal with just it wasn't the cases, and I like 1 versus 100. I guess is really not the same more I talk, but it was trivia, and you answered the questions, and however many people got it wrong left, and then it came down to 1 versus how many, and if you got rid of everybody, there was the big money at the end. Deal or No Deal is supposed to be making a comeback, by the way. So,
on CNBC, yeah.
Yeah, rejoice on that. I don't know if Howie Mandel's doing it or not. Why not? What else is he doing?
I think he is.
What else is he doing?
Sure, on the edge of his carpet.
But exactly. But and then, of course, there's those game show hosts and game shows that you just absolutely couldn't stand.
Yeah.
I'll say it, for me, not a big fan. I love the show, love Wheel of Fortune, love Vanna White. Not a Pat Sajak fan. Pat Sajak ass. Not a big fan. Just, he's not funny. Never found him funny. Nobody?
No. I mean, I know of someone else that didn't really like him that much. I mean, they're Team Trebek all the way. Since they were always like back to back on the
Yeah,
lineup.
because the
you
two
either
shows,
were one or the other.
The two shows really don't have anything to do with each other, but they do kind of get, like you said, that connection because of the time slots.
Now, see, I prefer Wheel of Fortune to Jeopardy.
Really?
And I remember my grandmother watching it all the time, and she got mad at me whenever I would get the puzzles like before she did.
Little upstart showing up your grandmother. You shouldn't do that. That's it. I like Wheel of Fortune. I like the show. I mean, Pat Sajak's one of those guys. I just don't find him that funny. He's one of those people I think that tries to be, and it's just not there.
It's kind of forced, you think?
Yeah, it's just not there. I'm more for Alex Trebek. I like Jeopardy as well. Remember the old Trivial Pursuit show? That was a good one too. You mentioned trivia shows.
Right. Yeah, I don't really remember that.
There was a game
It was
show.
the one. You mean the one with the Christopher Knight? He was the host.
This was more in the 80s.
Oh, because they revived it, and he was the host.
Okay, Christopher Knight from the Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't know
yeah,
about
they
that.
had I saw a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, they could have. they could have. Or why not Trivia Night?
Right. Ooh.
Yeah, but it was on the daytime, so.
Could have recorded it and watched it at night.
Right.
Well, nobody rode Knight and Knight Rider, but you know what? They still called it Knight Rider, right? That's it.
There's some games that just translate horribly to game shows. Do you remember when they had Monopoly as a game show?
When you mentioned, as you started the end of that, yeah, I do
That
remember
was...
them.
I mean, I like Monopoly. I like playing Monopoly.
Love Monopoly,
but
I don't want to
watching that show,
yeah,
it just... the premise was awful. And it wasn't really on the air for that long because it was not good.
It was terrible. But that's just like now one that I did like, the pyramid. Whether it be $10,000, $25,000, $100,000 pyramid. I'm
not a big Strahan as the host kind of guy.
No. See, to me, that will always
it's Dick Clark.
Be Dick Clark, absolutely. Yeah, Donny Osmond had it, didn't get into it then.
There was another guy that did it.
Somebody else had it at one point. I watched him, but no, Dick Clark will always be the host of the pyramid as far as I'm concerned.
But the good thing, I mean, like about Family Feud, I mean, a lot of people liked Richard Dawson, and either way with Richard Dawson, but most of the hosts, I think, from the Family Feud were all right, except Louis Anderson was awful on that.
It was such a just odd pairing.
Right.
You see, I grew up watching it with Ray Combs.
All right, it's time to play the Family Feud. $20,000.
Louis, if you're watching, that's
the worst impression of you ever.
You can send all your hate mail in care of Nathan at the 546 Project. No, I grew up watching Ray Combs do it. And I was unaware for years that there was anybody before him. But, Richard Dawson did it first. And actually, after Ray Combs' untimely passing,
he came back.
He came back, actually. He didn't kiss the women anymore because he had since got married, and his wife didn't want him doing that.
Which he met on the show.
That's right. You're right. I forgot about that. But then you get around 97, and I'm home from school one day just flipping through channels, and it's like up next Family Feud. And I'm like, well, I wonder who's hosting this stuff nowadays. And I'll be damned if there wasn't Louis Anderson. Like, it just so out of left field. But I liked Louis Anderson, so it was all right. And then, of course, you had Richard Dawson, or Richard Karn, who was Al from Home Improvement. So I was behind that.
Right.
Big Home Improvement fan, big fan of Al. And then we had
John O'Hurley.
Peterman took over.
I think he was all right. I mean, this was about the time that he had, I think, was on Dancing with the Stars, so he would kind of dance like his way onto the into the scene, and I didn't like that part, but he was all right as the host.
He wasn't bad. I had nothing against him. And then you have now Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is one of them. I mean, he's well pushing 60 by now.
You wanna do a ranking of Family Feud hosts, like in order of preference?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I mean, for
that's
me,
hard.
Well, Louis Anderson's last, obviously.
See, why the hatred for Louis?
It just didn't fit for him. It wasn't like I just didn't like how he did it.
Yeah.
Um,
I love Life with Louie.
Oh, big fan of Life with Louie.
But him hosting a show like that, no.
Let's see. Now it gets a little tricky. I'm going to say Richard Karn would probably be next to last if I had to rank them.
I'm a fan of Al.
Well, I mean, it's close between him and O'Hurley. So I'm going to give O'Hurley the nod for, I guess this would be, what, fifth? How many do we have? We have Dawson, Combs.
6, I think.
Anderson, Karn,
Harvey.
O'Hurley, and Harvey. Okay, so
Yeah, he's 6.
so Harvey.
Oh, so he's your favorite.
I really like Harvey.
I do like Harvey a lot.
He you know what? He really, I guess, just relates with the people. Really
It's
well.
close
There's
between Harvey and Dawson.
And see, to me, with me, there's always that thing for Ray Combs because that's
And
who
Ray Combs is good.
That's who I grew up. He was Family Feud to me. I watched him do the show when a lot of the wrestlers were on there at the time. Now, which Steve Harvey did some shows with the TNA guys and
the rest, both the knockouts and
the
the
knockouts
wrestlers.
and the wrestlers. But Ray Combs was always Family Feud to me as a kid.
No, I definitely understand that one. He did a good job on the show.
But it's cool that it's still running. I mean, Family Feud, you figure, has been going, what, since the 70s?
75, 76.
Because I believe Richard Dawson came right to that from Match Game.
From Match Game, yes.
That's one I didn't like. Not a big Match Game guy.
That was on... that's one that was revived.
Yeah,
with
that's
Alec
been
Baldwin.
revived as well. Guess just not the same without Charles Nelson Riley. But...
and Brett Summers and...
Gene, who hosted that show?
Gene Rayburn.
Gene Rayburn, yeah.
Well, they had the liquor flowing during that show, as from what I understood. Betty White was on that show.
Well, from what I understand, Pat Sajak enjoys a nip in between takes of Wheel of Fortune, does he not?
That's what I heard.
That's it. So, look who's back, everyone. Carrie's made her way back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Cotter reference there. Very good. We're just retro TV killing it here in this episode. But let's see. Since Carrie's making her way back, do we want to flow into the food box?
Well, I'd like to ask Carrie what some of her favorite game shows are. If she has any that she...
I really enjoy Jeopardy. I love Jeopardy.
So you're Team Trebek.
Yes. Oh, Pat Sajak's a goofball. Never did anything for me. I'd probably say I've always loved... Yeah.
We left a show that I liked out.
Okay.
Pressure Luck. I like Pressure
Oh,
Luck.
absolutely. Peter Tamarkin and Pressure Luck. That's one I will admit I even like the revival version.
Whammy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That was good too. With Todd, whatever.
Todd Newton.
Yeah.
Newton, yeah. Yeah, I've enjoyed all the incarnations of that. Pressure Luck's a lot of fun. And actually, it was kind of cool. They did that episode, they had the guy from the 80s that apparently hacked the board.
Michael Larson, yeah.
Yeah, hacked the board. They actually had his brother on a version of of Whammy, the new Pressure Luck. He had passed away, I believe, but I believe it was his brother. They had him on there for an episode.
I mean, if you watched the documentary of Larson and the Pressure Luck thing, it's a good view, I think.
You got to be really smart to know how to do that kind of stuff.
Well, he studied the board, and he found out there were like the same 12 patterns that just repeated, and it would never if it was on a certain pattern, it will always hit the big bucks, and so he knew that to hit it for that time. So while they were doing this, CBS was in a panic because they were like, oh gosh, this guy could go on forever. And it went on actually for 2 episodes because his term was always up, and so they had to stop the episode and then continue it into a second episode.
And I mean, it's stuff I never thought about back then because I was little when that show aired. But when you look back at it now, you do kind of get to thinking about that kind of stuff, and you figure there's got to be an algorithm. There's got to be. That stuff's not just random. That's got to be. It's all computerized, and so it's got to have some type of algorithm to it.
I did. What cabs.
Oh wait, I gotta add. I like supermarket sweep and
Shop
Shop
till you
till you
drop.
drop.
That's right. I forgot
Yes,
about those.
yes.
And I also want to throw in a nod to Cash Cab as well. I do enjoy that.
That's
one.
Oh, Cash Cab, yeah.
Yeah, with
Can't believe I
Ben.
forgot that.
Oh my, cash cab.
Not a Cash Cab guy.
I don't know.
Wow. No
I
love for the Cash Cab.
a little bit too real, I guess.
So you telling me if you jumped in a cab, I've never seen you take a cab, but if you did and a bunch of flashing lights went off and you were able to avoid having a seizure, you would would you tell him no? Would you not play for fabulous wealth on a free cab ride?
I would play.
Oh, all right,
For
I'm
sure.
just making sure. Just
Full disclosure, I've never really seen the show.
well, just a
Well,
spoiler
then you really
alert.
can't.
I
talk
can't
shit
really
on
talk
it then. That's
about
right.
it.
Spoiler alert! I guarantee you ain't gonna find Cash Cab in Hagerstown.
Hell no.
You might find Broke Cab in Hagerstown.
I'm about to say, we should start our own coupon cab.
Oh, that's great. Oh, we will iron that out. That will be a thing at some point. But do we gravitate to our food box? Not as full as it has, but we've downgraded back to a box. The food chest is gone. The
We ate a smorgasbord today.
yeah, the food tank is gone. But we are back to a food box. Nathan has been gracious enough to supply us this week with a few things. One, Jason is absolutely petrified of.
Well, what we're going to do actually for the food box,
All right.
we're going to do 2 of these on this podcast.
Okay.
And there will be 2 other ones that will be exclusively on our YouTube channel. And you just have to go on the YouTube and search for the 546 Project, and you'll see our YouTube page where we have all of our podcast episodes on there. And we actually have 2 video food boxes that I did earlier in
Yes,
the week.
Nathan has launched the video podcast, the video food box. And
So,
I'm
if
going
you-
to be honest, I'm a bad team member because I didn't know we had a YouTube channel. When did that happen?
No, I created it like when we first were around, but
Oh, we've
I
been
just
doing
never
audio
really
so much.
mentioned
It
it. I never
makes
really
sense.
mentioned it.
But
and-
now we need to with these video food boxes.
So now, if you go on there, I have my review of the Hardee's Fruit Loops mini donuts, and then I have my review of Krispy Kreme's lemon glazed donut and the Reese's Outrageous donut.
which both sound delicious,
I-
by the way.
I really like this idea because then people can see the product.
Yeah,
we're talking
I
about.
do kind of I'm glad that you did this. So hats off to you for, and that's also kind of a fun thing to do, especially if we end up going somewhere. Kind of promote them a little bit too.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But what do we have today, Nathan?
So, what do you want to? Do you want to start with the drink of death or these?
Oh, Drink of Death has to close it out. Drink of Death has to. I mean, we need something to cleanse the palate after
All
what you
right,
have there.
I'll go ahead and start with these. These are Benitos Baked. They are white bean, mac and cheese, crunchy
Things.
snacks. Like they're like Cheetos. in a
Never
way.
thought of
But-
putting white bean and mac and cheese together, but
but they're made with white bean. Like
all right.
like white bean, I guess. Powder.
And as history has shown us,
Did
you
you
can
say
make.
white bean power?
powder, not
Oh,
powder.
okay.
White bean powder. White bean, white bean powder is what comes out of the.
I do believe white bean power is going to be in the next Power Ranger series.
These smell.
I
These
believe-
smell terrible.
They smell hobo.
They smell funk. They smell like a funk.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Before I smell, wow, Jason just laughs. Before I smell these, I will say the worst thing I've ever smelled to come out of a bag like this is the Hollis popcorn, white cheddar. It smells like feet.
They
So,
see be close.
Let's see what
they
this
might
smells
be
like.
close.
Oh,
It smells the feet.
that's white bean power, folks.
See? Maybe we should have got the black bean ones.
Oh, let's not start a turf war here.
You know this smells like wood.
Wood chips. Oh,
They
we're
smell
gonna eat
like
wood
I
chips.
just walked into Home Depot.
Better than eating paint chips.
Damn, where's Mr. Woodchuck? I'm
Depends
gonna
what year the paint's from.
grab a couple of these. I grabbed a couple here because I'm a glutton for
It's like
punishment.
drinking paint from My Strange Addiction.
Oh, I love that show.
These are more puffy than crunchy.
Yeah, they
looks
look
like we
more
haven't
like a
been into
piece
them
of
yet.
puff than
They
like
do.
a-
Hey, cheesy poos.
Hey, I got some cheesy peeps.
All
Cheesy
right.
peeps.
So,
Yes.
all right.
They
One,
do
two,
smell like wood.
1, 2,
Go.
3. Dig in.
It tastes like cheddar wood.
Hey, call me Mikey, but I like it.
They are kind of.
They have a little bit of a rice cake reminder.
They do.
They're a
And I
little
like-
earthy.
I actually like the thickness to it as opposed to like a cheese puff that's more airy.
Yeah,
These are a little more dense. I
Yeah.
like it.
They kind of remind me of a rice cake. And I like rice cakes.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good.
I think the powder out on the outside's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not bad.
In fact, I would eat these over a rice cake any day.
Can I have a couple more? These? Okay. Yeah,
I'm
So-
going to join her in that because I really like these.
I like rice cakes.
So the Benitos were a hit, we could say. I mean, they were pretty good.
Beneath, yes.
They're a healthier choice.
Yes, they are. I feel good about eating these.
I felt bad after eating that 15 ounces of prime rib. I know that. But yet, here we are, like almost an hour and a half later, and we're eating more.
Well, no one told you to eat the whole thing. I'm just saying.
That is true. But go big or go home.
But
So-
I will give hats off to BJ's Brewhouse. Phenomenal food. This is like the 6th time we've been there. Carrie and I
First
love their
time
food.
for me, though.
I love their
It
food.
was good.
It was Jason's first.
But Nathan, Jason, would you go back?
I would have to because of the 24-page menu that they had.
Right.
It's a very expansive menu.
I'm gonna go back. I'm looking forward to trying a few things.
If I can get a seat, I was always packed whenever I go by.
They've got they do phenomenal business. You worry about this area because there are so many restaurants here, but to see them do as well as they are, and they've been around a little while now, there's constantly a crowd.
Well,
They do great specials. Monday night they have some specialty pizzas, and all their pizzas are a little expensive, but go on Monday nights, you get a large, it's half price.
Yep.
The pizza's delicious.
Oreos.
Like I said, you can't. The deal we have, they only have this on the weekends, but it's a 16-ounce prime rib. You get 2 sides plus a salad and a pizookie for dessert. A pizookie is like a little cookie that, what would you call it? Like a little,
It comes out fresh baked.
kind of like a cookie pie or something like that. I mean,
they put ice cream on
with
the top.
ice cream on
And
top.
they're not so little.
No, I
No,
mean,
they're-
it's a good size. for
Yeah,
one
it's a good
person.
size.
The portion sizes are,
Yes.
are very generous.
It's the smaller of the two, though. Believe it or not, they have a
Right.
bigger pizookie, but you get all that food for what is it? I believe $26.
I think it's like $26.95, isn't it? Something like that.
Yes.
I can't- yeah.
I mean, it's a great deal. They're more known for their drinks, obviously with the name Brew House.
And
I've
actually,
never-
they're known for their pizza because they actually originated as a pizza place prior to becoming like the brew house.
I've never had any of their alcoholic beverages, but they have some pretty cool crafted sodas. I enjoy the black cherry. Nathan had an orange cream
I did.
soda. I wasn't as big of a fan of it, but their root beer is good as well. But they ran out of root beer, sadly enough.
Yeah.
They have excellent too for an appetizer. Their avocado egg rolls are delicious.
Yeah. No matter how you add it up, people just love BJ's.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. I mean, any time of day,
Yep, I went
a
there.
good BJ.
Well played. Well played.
You
I
know,
personally don't care for a BJ.
BJ's any time of day is. I got it. BJ's any time of day. Okay. And now the drink of death.
Okay, so what I have here,
I personally wonder where he keeps finding this shit. Honestly,
it's in the grocery store.
I bought this at Sheets when I got mine.
He gives them random aisles at the store.
So the who makes this is
Very scary tea.
Kavita. Kavita. This is Master Brew Kombucha Raspberry Lemon Tea.
Is this one of them weird things we had at your house before when we did the one from your house?
no, this is something different.
No.
Like it's similar to one of them weird drinks we had at your house?
I don't think so.
No, this is. I think this is a little. No, wait, what did we? Do you
We had
remember what we
some kind
had?
of weird, nasty.
I can't remember.
Oh yeah, it was the pomegranate
Yeah.
stuff.
I like
No, this is tea. This is kombucha tea is like fermented.
Oh, okay.
So you're supposed to shake to swirl gently.
Oh, just shake rigorously here.
Not because it's carbonated apparently.
Oh, well, yeah, we don't want it to blow out great.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, you said you've tried another one of these?
I tried the ginger one, and it was not good.
So
I'm yet to find ginger in a drink that's good, with the exception of a hot tea. But
oh, that's not good.
Yep.
That's not a good face.
it smells a little vinegary.
Oh, this isn't
It's
gonna
the
be good.
fermentation.
Yeah, that smells real vinegary. Oh man, that makes me want to cry.
oh, look at the size of the can.
It's a bottle.
Oh God, it's in a jar. Oh, there's nothing good coming out of this, sports fans.
Am I gonna need the bathroom?
You may need the banyo here.
If any time we would hope that Kevin's here, it would be to try that.
This is going to be awful.
Oh my God! It smells like we're gonna drink vinegar. Are you sure this is meant to be?
I want to take the first one.
Oh, I was going to say, I'll take the first
drink.
Oh.
It's a definite.
Then at least I can be like, oh yes, that's bad, but not as bad.
Now don't take no little. I mean, you got to get all in there. You got to get all in.
Hey, I know I'm doing it.
All right, here we go.
He knows how to drink.
Some feels we should have YouTubed this.
Not as bad as the other one that I had.
Tastes like
Does
vinegar?
it taste? Do you taste any raspberry at all?
Snozberries.
Not like a little
Rotten
bit, but
berries.
it's just such a weird flavor.
Assberries.
Rotten berries.
411.
I would love to be able to see your faces right now.
Look, it plays on the tongue. Look.
Wow, that's not good.
But you know what? It's better. That is better than the ginger. I think since I had the ginger.
Oh, Carrie, hold my
You're
hand.
you're not going to like that at
Here
all.
we go. Here we go.
I
folks.
think that I can actually just by comparison say that's not as bad as I thought.
All right, here we go.
I wouldn't drink that whole thing, but
Wow, you're really going into that.
yes, I like it.
That tastes like it's bitter as all hell. It tastes like an Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of
something I've had before. It's
kind
like
of in that vein.
that tastes
yes.
like the weak Alka-Seltzer. I could drink that over an Alka-Seltzer, but
Oh, you're not gonna like it, Karen.
oh no,
You are not gonna like that at
Oh,
all.
that's a bad face.
Who the fuck would want to drink this shit?
Oh.
Oh my, that tastes like. Oh my, who the fuck?
Oh, it
gets
smells.
worse.
It
And
smells
here's the
so
thing.
bad.
It's just
I feel like
festering.
it's-
It smells straight like
Give me a couple more.
it
than
smells like
chips,
you're gonna.
please.
It smells like you could clean with this.
Yeah, like that
Clean
would-
your damn
that would-
countertop.
That would eat stains off the rug.
Oh my
Sad
God.
thing is, we got to finish it. That's the bad part.
No, you don't.
No, I don't think we're gonna be finishing
I ain't
this.
fucking touching it.
It's. I'll tell you, there's no aftertaste though. I'll give it
I
that.
mean, what that must be just the kombucha there, because I'm looking at the ingredients. It has sparkling water.
Oh,
It has
that's why.
It has that kombucha.
Ugh.
It has the filtered water, cane sugar, raspberry juice concentrate, lemon extract.
I think the cane sugar. Fell
I don't
out.
even know what this might be some sort of bacteria in this. But yeah, it's. I mean,
Well, would you like me to go introduce that to the drain?
I'm gonna take another little drink just to.
Yeah, I honestly, I was too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was gonna hit it again, but it's just something. It's like a car crash. You can't turn away.
I'll go back to my Pepsi here.
It tastes like carbonated, like
Cleaner.
yeah. It's not. I mean,
Are you
it's
done
not
with
even
it?
like yeah.
Are you done with
Yeah.
it?
I don't know if Jason wants
Chug,
to try
chug,
another
chug.
little.
Nah, I'm good with one. I'm good.
Don't tell me to chug because I'll finish it on a dare. Okay, so like,
I wouldn't recommend that to my
But-
worst enemy.
yeah, let's.
Now, is that the worst thing we've ever had on the
I
food
think
box?
it is.
It's
I
pretty
think it is.
weird.
I don't think we've never not finished something. Like there's always been somebody that's like, oh,
That's
Yeah.
decent.
I can like that enough to finish it.
We're
Well,
gonna
now,
introduce you to the drain.
now I know never to buy those teas ever because
I
they are gross.
I'm sorry, I didn't give you a heads up, but now everyone.
No, I knew. I
you know
had a
that's
feeling.
happened now.
I had a feeling it was going to be bad.
If you
I mean,
ser-
I didn't know how bad it was going to be.
If you seriously would not have told me that that was tea ahead of time, I'd have never guessed that was tea.
It was just like a special drink.
Yeah,
That
like,
was
I
it.
would have never guessed that was supposed
It was
to
a
be some
homemade
form
brew.
of tea.
But I feel like we still need to get Kevin to try one because everyone else.
Now I know what polyjuice potion tastes like. Oh.
Now, would we get them to
thought
try?
it was
I
an
mean,
anus
because
juice
they're
juice.
honestly, I don't know how they would call that raspberry because I tasted absolutely no raspberry in that.
I think the
I mean,
lemon
is more
I think
lemony.
You said there was the lemon extract.
It was,
right?
well,
I think, yeah, the
it wasn't
lemon.
even like lemon. It was just like citric,
The
like
lemon,
acidy.
The lemon took over that. That was terrible. Should have
It's-
heard it fizz when it hit the sink.
You know,
That was
if
actually burning.
you know,
Yeah.
you
It
know
was
if you
clean
like,
or sink.
you know if you melted down a battery, I think that's what it would do.
Have we just put that in our bodies?
Oh,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be good for our
starting to
body.
feel a little sideways. On that happy note, is there anything else?
But yeah, I mean, as I said, we will be doing a video food box here shortly for our YouTube channel.
So check out the YouTube
We're going to be
channel.
having these little cream cheese filled bagel bites that they had on Shark Tank. I forget. I don't have the. I don't
In front
have
of
the
us.
box with me, but
all
but
the
if you-
info, all the
it will
deets
be on the
will
YouTube,
be
channel.
So if you want to plug that again, plus
But
our
yeah,
other social media.
definitely. So the YouTube channel, just search for the 546 Project, and you'll see all of our videos, including the 2 video food boxes that I did earlier in the week. And
I promise
Facebook.
you'll never see that stuff again. That we just
Yeah,
tried.
good thing we didn't. Well, I don't know if we should have tried that on camera because who knows if we would have had some upchuck or
I'm not in
something.
the market for throwing up for people. So
But
Uh,
anyway,
Facebook?
the Facebook, this is the 546 Project. Give us a like if you would. We'll have we have more content on there. Our Twitter handle is _546_project. Our email is the546project@gmail.com. Our podcast page is the 546 Project, 30 minutes or less, .libsyn.com, and you can find us on iTunes and Google Play Music. And I'm feeling a little more queasy as I go through.
Easy. I think we're gonna end this now. We're gonna regroup, and we'll catch y'all next time around out here. And also remember, check out the YouTube channel for the future food box. Guys, thanks a lot. It's been real. It's been fun, except for the drink. And we're out.
All right, see you.